Hey, what's going on? My name's Jack Lane. Welcome back to a brand new video here at the channel. Today we are going to be talking about the future of the DC animated universe and everything that's coming out. So, Comic-Con is this week, so a lot of Comic-Con videos are coming out here on the channel. If you haven't checked out any of my videos that came out yesterday, please go do that. We had a Blade video, we've had a Nova video, a Spider-Man 4 video, 24 movie video, a lot of updates, a lot of things coming around very, very quickly, and I wanted to share this with you. I've been a fan of the DC animated universe for some time, so when I saw this article, I just couldn't resist. It goes on to say, Tomorrowverse, producer reveals status of the future DC animated movies ahead of DC Studios takeover, exclusive. This comes from comicbookmovie.com. And it goes on to say, DC Studios has its own plans for animated DC projects moving forward, but where does that leave the direct-to-DVD movies fans have come to love so much? Here's what the Tomorrowverse's Butch Luca told us. Butch Luca has been a fixture of the DC animated universe for decades, and in recent years, he's been overseeing the Tomorrowverse as an executive producer. As a result, he's overseen all 10 of those direct-to-DVD features, starting with Superman, Man of Tomorrow, and culminating with the recently released Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 3. A great deal has changed since the former was released in 2020, with DC Studios now looking to make a single, shared DCU. So where does that leave these popular movies? Now, I just want to clarify something here. The DCAU has done a lot better than the DC Extended Universe ever has done. The DC's animated universe has done what DC Films hopes to do. Just want to put that out there. But we're going to just go down. We asked Luca about that earlier this week, and he told us, you never know. Right now, I couldn't say anything as far as what they want to do beyond these. Of course, speaking about the studio behind the animated universe, he's like, I don't know. I kind of get the impression that he has to keep a lot of things secret. From what I read earlier today as well, it sort of seems like it. But anyway, he goes on to say, obviously the James Gunn DC universe is what's important right now. As far as anything to jump off of this stuff, I think it's very secondary. He explained. So it's going to be more aligned to whatever the DCU is as James Gunn works it out. While Watchmen is up next, it currently sounds like that might be it for these movies, unless the plan is for them to continue under the Elseworlds banner. Normally at Comic-Con, we get a slate of animated DC projects for the next following year, but don't be surprised if nothing is mentioned next weekend. Of course, it is this weekend Comic-Con is coming, so of course do not be surprised if this doesn't happen. And then it goes on to say, we also wondered how Luca looks back at the Tomorrowverse, and he confirmed that even before DC Studios' formation, the plan was to tell a self-contained story over 10 movies. Well, originally I wanted to do more than 10 movies, which this ultimately was. I was hoping to keep things going and stretch things out so we could add more build-up for certain characters, he said. It was decided that we get 10 movies and we need to get as much in there as we possibly could so they could be cohesive. They gave us a 5-year plan, which is sort of what we did. We did it all in 5 years, 10 movies and the shorts. Originally, the previous universe was open-ended after 14, 15 years, but this time around, they wanted a definite start and stop. And that's what we produced. So, of course, if you don't know, the DC animated universe sort of got a reboot with the Tomorrowverse, where they were told to do 5 years for 10 movies. Before that, it was just 15 years of whatever they wanted to make, really, whatever they came up with. And that was my sort of introduction as a part of that first 15 years of, you know, Batman and Son, Batman Year 1, Batman vs. Robin. There was Batman and Superman, I think it was Republic Orders, Superman Doomsday movie. Like, there was a lot of movies, Justice League things that were part of that universe, animated universe. Another one that springs to mind that was very much on my radar was Assault on Arkham. So there's very much a lot of stuff going on. And that's what, you know, it went on 15 years without really an ending. And they went to do the Tomorrowverse and was told, you have 5 years, we want a beginning, we want an ending. And that's what it is. And of course, then it goes on to say, come back to come back to the comic book movie site next week for more news. So where does that leave the animated universe? Well, I've read something interesting today, and I can't find it, but I read it today. It's to do with the Wonder Woman thing. It was they were talking about the Lost Paradise City or whatever it was. That's whatever show they're doing there about the Amazons and Wonder Woman's origin. It's going to be a prequel, and they were talking about that, and that's very interesting because if you don't know, that movie or that TV show, I should say, is in development. And along with that, James Gunn also said there's a lot of other things in development, such as a load of animation projects, which I'm assuming Dcau, the studio who've done the DC Animated Universe, are taking on, and they're being told, this is what you're now doing. You can now create boom, 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 boom. Do what you want with this, but this is what you're doing. That's where I'm thinking with it, okay? So the Tomorrowverse, the producer, he's clearly done the DC Animated Universe as we know it is over. The studio is definitely going to be going on ahead and continuing on in some way. They're not just sacking a load of people. They're going to basically go, right, you do Creature Commandos, you do this, you do that, you do this. Oh, you want to tell the story? Yeah, cool, you can do that. And Gunn is going to work, I think, very closely with them. And they're going to get to tell stories they want to tell. And maybe we're going to get some remakes. You know, the animation has got better over the 15 years from what originally came out 15 odd years ago. So maybe we're going to get like a remake of a couple of projects like Batman Year One. Maybe they're going to do more of an original story of that. Maybe they're going to do a Superman story later on down the line. And of course, the one thing that does need to be pointed out here is it seems like all the actors in the movies are going to be the actors in the shows and the animated projects as well. So I'm very much excited for the future of the DC Animated Universe, even if it's not this. And the fact, it says, where does it leave the direct-to-DVD stuff? Direct-to-DVD is gone. That is 100% gone. There's not a person in DC at the moment that are going, right, okay, this next Batman movie that's going to be part of the DC universe that we're going to create, and it's going to be part of the DCU, and it's going to be set before Superman. It's going to be a very dark story on Batman. 12A. It's going to be like Frank Miller's Batman Year One. We're going to tell the origin of this Bruce Wayne and what happens to him, and we're going to have Actor X play Bruce because he's going to be Bruce in Brave and the Bold. Although no one knows about that. But when we announce it at Comic-Con, they're not going to, but just for argument's sake, we are going to be then announcing we're doing these things. I think that's what they're doing. So, and direct to DVD, it's going direct to streaming. That's what's happening there. So yeah, I'm kind of sad to see the DC's animated universe disappear for what it was. And I still need to watch Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 1, Part 2, Part 3. Still have not watched them. Very excited to watch them. Although I'm a little bit critical of it because I heard that Mark Hamill isn't the Joker in it. I don't know how true that is, but apparently he's not. So I don't know where that stands. But I'm very excited. I've seen little clips of it. I'm thinking, I've got to watch this. Maybe I'll start it tonight. Who knows? Just needed to get time really, because last night I was going to watch it, and I spent the entire day recording. So yeah, who knows? But of course, with that all being said, where do you guys think the DC Animated Universe? Do you think it left on a high with what they've done with their last movie, their last project? Of course, they've still got Watchmen to come out. Or do you think the DCAU will exist still as Elseworlds? Or where I'm going with it, DC Animated Universe Studios, they're tackling all the animated stuff for James Gunn's DCU. I think that's more plausible. But I want to hear your thoughts down below. And of course, smash that like button. It really does help me out a lot. And I really do appreciate it. And consider joining the channel. You know, hit the subscribe button, join the channel. Let me know down below what you guys are thinking in terms of where you want or what you guys want to see happen with DC going forward. Of course, we're getting loads of news about DC probably this weekend. Maybe some more films, maybe some more release dates. We're probably going to be seeing our first teaser trailer for Superman Legacy. I don't want to jinx anything, but I know it's about a year away. However, I think they're going to do that. They're going to be like, look, we're going to throw you a bone. You've been seeing set images. You've been making your opinions on this movie without seeing anything proper from us. Here's a proper look. And I think that's what we're going to get. And a whole bunch of projects announced. Or, I mean, they've got a panel that's somewhat big, apparently. Matt Reeves is going to be there to talk about Batman Part 2. So we're going to get a couple of DC stuff this weekend. I don't know how much, but I'll be covering it all here on the channel. And same with Marvel. So definitely join us for this week for the Comic-Con week. And yeah. And also, as always, stay cinematic. See you in the next one.